Did you know that their jaws are strong enough to snap a 12-foot crocodile in half with a single bite? Did you know that hippos communicate through wheeze honks that can be heard for over a mile across the savanna? Did you know that their skin is so thick and tough it is nearly bulletproof against traditional small-caliber weapons? Did you know that despite their enormous size, hippos are almost entirely herbivorous and rarely eat meat? Did you know that hippos are responsible for more human fatalities in Africa than lions, elephants, and leopards combined? The common hippopotamus, scientifically known as Hippopotamus amphibius, is the third largest type of land mammal on Earth, trailing only elephants and rhinoceroses. The name hippopotamus comes from ancient Greek and literally translates to river horse, reflecting their semi-aquatic lifestyle. Hippos spend up to 16 hours a day submerged in rivers and lakes to keep their massive bodies cool under the intense African sun. Their eyes, ears, and nostrils are located on the very top of their heads, allowing them to remain almost completely submerged while still being able to see, hear, and breathe. An adult male hippo can weigh between 3,000 and 4,000 pounds, while females are generally smaller, weighing around 3,000 pounds. Despite their heavy appearance, hippos are surprisingly agile in the water and can move with great grace along the riverbed. Hippos do not actually swim. Instead, they walk or jog along the bottom of the water body by pushing off the ground. Because they are so dense, hippos cannot float, so they must actively manage their buoyancy to stay at the desired depth. Their skin is extremely sensitive to UV rays and dehydration, which is why they stay in the water during the heat of the day. The blood sweat hippos produce is actually a specialized secretion containing hipposudoric acid and norhipposudoric acid. The acid in this secretion inhibits the growth of disease-causing bacteria, helping hippos heal quickly from wounds in murky water. Hippos are highly social animals that live in groups called pods, bloats, or schools, which can range from 10 to over 100 individuals. A single dominant male, known as a bull, usually presides over a pod of females and their young. Male hippos are extremely territorial in the water and will fiercely defend their stretch of the river against rivals. On land, however, hippos are generally not territorial and will graze near one another without much conflict. A hippo's mouth can open up to 150 degrees, revealing massive canine and incisor teeth. These lower canines can grow to be over 20 inches long and are used primarily for fighting and defense rather than eating. The teeth of a hippo are made of ivory, much like elephant tusks, but were historically even more prized because they do not yellow with age. Hippos are most active at night, which is when they leave the water to graze on short grasses. A single hippo can consume up to 80 pounds of grass in a single night, which is a relatively small amount compared to their body weight. They use their wide, muscular lips to crop the grass close to the ground, rather than using their teeth to chew it. Hippos can travel several miles away from their water source during the night to find the best grazing spots. They create well-worn paths through the brush, known as hippo runs, which they follow back to the water before the sun rises. The gestation period for a female hippo is approximately 8 months, and they almost always give birth to a single calf. Calves are born underwater and must swim to the surface immediately to take their first breath. A newborn hippo weighs between 50 and 100 pounds and can walk and swim within minutes of being born. Mother hippos are intensely protective and will stay away from the main pod for several weeks to bond with their calf and protect it from predators. Young hippos often rest on their mothers' backs in deep water to conserve energy and stay safe from crocodiles. While adult hippos have very few natural predators, calves are vulnerable to lions, hyenas, and crocodiles. Hippos have a unique way of marking their territory by spinning their short, flat tails like a fan while defecating to scatter dung. This behavior, known as muck spreading, helps establish their presence and provides nutrients to the aquatic ecosystem. The massive amount of dung hippos deposit into rivers supports a complex food web of fish and insects. However, in stagnant water or during droughts, an overabundance of hippo dung can lead to oxygen depletion and fish die-offs. Hippos have a multi-chambered stomach that allows them to ferment grass, though they are not true ruminants like cows. They have a very slow metabolism, which explains why they can survive on relatively small amounts of food for their size. Hippos have been known to live up to 40 or 50 years in the wild, and even longer in controlled environments. Their hearing is excellent, both above and below the water, thanks to specialized structures in their middle ear. Hippos use subsonic frequencies to communicate underwater, which can travel through the water for long distances. When a hippo yawns, it is usually not a sign of tiredness, but a threat display meant to show off its massive teeth. The bite force of a female hippo has been measured at roughly 1,800 pounds per square inch. Male bite force is likely much higher, though it is difficult to measure because of their extreme aggression. Despite their bulk, hippos can reach land speeds of up to 20 miles per hour in short bursts. Their feet are uniquely designed with 4 webbed toes that spread out to distribute their weight on soft riverbanks. Hippos are known to be ecosystem engineers because their movements shape the physical environment of river systems. Their heavy bodies create channels in the mud that redirect water flow and create new habitats for smaller creatures. Hippos are surprisingly quiet when they want to be, often surfacing with barely a ripple to check their surroundings. They are capable of closing their nostrils and ears completely to prevent water from entering while they are submerged. Research has shown that hippos can recognize the voices of individual members of their pod. They are known to react differently to the honks of strangers compared to the sounds of familiar group members. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments which hippo fact surprised you the most. Click the next video on your screen for more amazing wildlife facts. See you in the next one.